What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all here?
Welcome back.
Y'all with us too. What up? Surprise. Let's let the family know.
Yeah. Very rare.
Just so you know, recording is now in progress.
Very rare occasion.
Earners, what's up? Tube, what's up? Red Panda, what's going on?
It's popping. Love y'all.
Yes.
Volume's on silent, please.
What's going on?
Y'all know what it is. It's Monday, right? October 25th. We are back, man, and blessed to be here. Hopefully everybody's safe and healthy. Safety first. Shy putting out the back call right now. It's going to be an exciting one, y'all.
If y'all made money off Tesla, please put fire in chat. You don't need to learn nothing else.
How many DMs today?
300-400 easy. If I made you money, please put yes in chat.
Shout out to Bam who sold his Tesla
today.
He did. I don't know, but he had sold the clothes on his joint. So shout out to him though. Bam be doing this thing.
God, I love you.
He be doing this thing.
I hope you sold today though.
Shout out to who else texted us today and said they made a bag.
Oh, Noel.
Yeah, shout out to Noel.
Yeah, twist it up.
EYL alumni, most recent EYL alumni. He made a nice one. He made a nice profit today. So yeah, it's a good day in the stock market. Bitcoin's at 63,000. So it's a lot of money floating around these days. But we gonna.
You say if you're only making money, it's on you. It's your fault.
That's real. Like hard accountability. Like if I'm giving you where to get in, what to stay away from, all you got to do is execute. That's the name of the game. Yeah,
man. So this is gonna be a big episode. Obviously, it's very rare that all three of us is together. We got Ian up in New York. So
I hate this traffic though.
We can't do that. We apologize for what it is. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. So we're gonna get right into it. But before we do, just make some brief announcements. EYL, big episode for us tomorrow. Ian, close your ears. We're gonna be talking about Forex trading.
Yeah, we apologize.
Shout out to the queen. I'm cool. I'm cool.
Okay. Jess, shout out to Jess.
All traders now. We're all family.
Yeah, shout out to Jessica. If you was at InvestFest, she was definitely at InvestFest. She hosted a panel for us. So she's super dope person. And she used to be a professional boxer.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. So she
got hands too?
Yeah.
I really ain't
she should put hands on somebody.
Yeah.
We got a slogan for us. She said Jessica ain't remember the face, remember the name. So we're gonna run with that. So make sure y'all tap in with her.
Yeah.
So don't tap in with her, but like check her out. Because you tap in, you might get tapped back.
That is tomorrow at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday. Yeah. Big one. So open enrollment. We do the last week of the month. We do open enrollment for EYL University, which is on YouTube. This month we are revisiting crypto. We're doing crypto, and we're doing the president of Earners on a Chain, which is our crypto club, Alistair. And we're going to have a really, really dope conversation also with our young boy, Lawrence. Lawrence has been teaching classes on investing for us for EYL University. So we got 2 EYL University professors that's coming together, and we're going to have a dope introduction to crypto. We're going to be talking about security, how to start investing in crypto, how to analyze crypto. We're going to be answering questions. So Bitcoin is at an all-time high. Ethereum's running crazy right now. Everybody's interested in cryptocurrency. So before the end of the year, we wanted to make sure that we revisited this crypto conversation, and what way better to do it than the people that we have at EYL University. So that is at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube on Wednesday. Anybody interested in cryptocurrency and investing, make sure you check that out.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is next Tuesday, we are having a networking event in Lagos, Nigeria.
If you didn't know.
Yes. We are headed to the motherland. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is a networking event in Lagos on Tuesday. So that is on our website. There's a whole tab for it, Nigeria tab. So if you're in Nigeria, or if you are planning to be in Nigeria next Tuesday, check us out, 7:00. We will be there. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Biz and the whole team out there that put that together. It's gonna be legendary.
Yeah, we got people making last minute flights right now.
Yeah, like, people's coming out there. People
like they treat it like, yo, what? Oh, y'all going to like Miami? I'm coming. They like, nah, y'all going to Lagos? I'm coming.
Lagos.
Shout out to the team. And real before we go any further, let me shout out everybody that was in that book club yesterday. Yo, incredible. I want to give a huge shout out to Miss Business. Obviously, I know that's our first guest that ever was on Earn Your Leisure. She came through and lit up the book club yesterday. They're reading the Whiteness of Wealth, which is I recommend to anybody. So she came through, talk about the tax code. I made a reappearance in the book club. It was incredible. So shout out to G for hosting it. Shout out to Janet for having a listening party. Incredible. I recommend everybody get the book.
Yeah. So incredible. That's where we're at. Anything else to say, Troy?
Ernest, I want you to ask yourself a question. What does wealth mean to you? And how does your background affect the way you're viewing building wealth? You can explore all these questions and more during Ally's free digital conference, The New Look of Wealth. Tune into Ally's live stream on YouTube November 3rd to hear from industry experts and leading strategists that will be dropping gems for you. Don't miss out on creating your own financial legacy. Reserve your spot at ally.com/digital conference. That's ALLY.com/digital conference. ALLY.com digital conference. Shout out to the good folks at Ally.
Yeah, I love y'all,
who reported their earnings last week.
I just got confirmation we can make this announcement. So
is it time?
It's time, man.
Hold on. Jen, are you there?
Before we do that real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, stock club call at 9. Crypto prices will be out. All right, but let's go.
So Jan, what's going on? The time has come. The time has come. So everything that we do, we try to just raise the bar and just, set something that has never been done, make history. That's the only way to do it. If you're going to do something, you got to make history when you're doing it. So
Jan, let it fly.
Oh, here we go. What up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, man. You ready to make history?
We gotta do it. We gotta set the world on fire.
That's it, man. So I'm thinking New York City, Market Mondays, Black Friday, the legendary Apollo Theater live show. What you think?
That's legendary as hell. We gotta do it. Shake up the internet. It's gonna be a show. Hell yeah, we gotta do it.
If y'all miss Holy Trinity and I dropped that fire for y'all, please put fire in chat. So if you missed out on one of the greatest performers, and I'm gonna be real, most of y'all didn't think I was gonna come with that fire. Listen, if you missed that one, please do not miss out on this one, because I'm gonna add some stuff to Holy Trinity to help you make some money. And if you already made money off what I talked about, please put yes in chat. It's gonna be a historic event. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be one of them things.
You hear that sound, Shotty? New York City. New York City's on the line.
Listen, man.
I told you we got you.
And you say New York City. So everybody's been asking when we're gonna do something in New York. Patience is a major key in life. Market Mondays, first show ever live. We taking the show on the road, and we starting the tour off in New York City on Black Friday at the legendary Apollo Theater, Harlem. This is something that is, I don't even know how to describe it, man. It's extremely
life-changing. Yes. You was there when I presented at Invest Fest. It was life-changing. So I'm gonna add to that same intensity, more wins. Like, I got you guys. So I know some of you like, damn, I wish I missed it. Wish I could have got the replay. I'm gonna put on the show for y'all. And I got a bunch of surprises coming through. So
man,
and it's a 2-day event also. So Friday, Black Friday, is the live show at the Apollo. And then Saturday, we're going to have a workshop. Yeah. And the workshop's going to be interactive. And it's going to be like a half a day straight learning session. This is going to be a more intimate VIP experience where you get to build with me, Troy, Ian, and some other surprise guests. You know how we do. So we're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about investing. We're going to be talking about crypto. We'll release that information. But 2-day event, 1 day. Black Friday is the Apollo live Market Mondays. And then Saturday is the live workshop VIP experience. It will be catered. You'll get a chance to talk to us, pick our brains. You're going to get information, blueprint, that whole nine. So Thanksgiving weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
So the date is November 26th. That's Black Friday. November 26th is a Friday. 2021, please do yourself a favor, reward yourself. Like we when we think Apollo, we think of legendary performances. Mm-hmm. And so, we got to raise the bar. We're going to have a legendary performances, but we're not going to be singing and dancing. No disrespect to anybody that does. But this is edutainment at its finest, y'all. Edutainment at its finest.
Entertainment there too, though.
I mean,
and we're going to have some of that. Yeah. They don't want me to rap.
We from New York, so of course we're gonna come with some surprises, and we got to do something big. I mean, you saw what we did an Invest Fest for that in Atlanta. That was for the whole world, but that was in Atlanta. So of course we're gonna have to do it 10 times big in New York City. So I'm excited. Everybody's excited. This is the announcement. Go to marketmondays.com right now. I'm gonna pin it. Get your tickets before they sell out, because this will sell out. I guarantee
Panda, we're gonna sell out tonight. So if y'all want the real exclusive and extra ATMs, and y'all know I don't do anything for money. Show up, let's show out.
I'm gonna be honest. If you've ever seen us do anything in New York City, whether it was at BK9, our first event, or when we was up in Jimmy's in the Bronx, that's more people than the Apollo can fit.
Nah,
don't play yourself.
and Dream Team gonna be there. Like,
don't play yourself.
If you trade for real and want the breakthroughs that we've had, you have to show up. This is not a financial push for us. Like, I'm free. I'm good.
They said it's Trade Hova gonna be there. Of course, Trade Hova gonna be there.
What do you mean?
Of course. Oh yes.
Nah, the one last thing I'm gonna say about this is the last time we did something in New York City, we we had 1,300 people come out in a 2-day notice in the Bronx. Shout out to Jimmy. That was on a 2-day notice in the Bronx. That was the last time we did something in New York this summer. So, anytime we do something in New York is extremely, extremely monumental. So do not miss this opportunity. Keep in mind, Apollo's an intimate venue. It's only 1,500 seats. Invest Fest was 4,000 seats. Apollo, and it sold out, by the way. Apollo's 1,500 seats. First come, first serve. Get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen.
If you're a real trader, real investor, be there. I'll be giving you all the sauce that you need to be able to run these games up. We're going to talk about Tesla tonight, but our long-term returns look like most people trading returns.
And listen, this is really it. We're telling y'all now because tomorrow we're going to tell the world. Tomorrow the world going to know, but tonight you're knowing because you're here with us locked in.
Marketmondays.com, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't play yourself.
Get your tickets. All right, let's get into this.
Now that we started. Have a green day.
Let's make something happen. And yes, we will be talking about Tesla.
Yeah. You want to start there?
Yeah, let's start there.
You want to start with Tesla?
Yeah, let's start there.
All right, let's start with Tesla. All right. So Tesla today, milestone on two milestones in one day.
Yeah.
Stock crossed over $1,000.
Yes.
First time ever.
That's a hell of a run.
And with that happening, that made its market cap over $1 trillion.
Very rare.
First time ever.
Yeah.
So,
you know what it also did? This is very rare. Elon Musk became obviously the wealthiest man on the planet, but his value in the company, his equity, is worth more than the entire Toyota company itself. He's worth $297 billion.
Oh, yeah. And also because Hertz, one of the reasons Hertz.
That was a good move.
Hertz announced that they're going to purchase 100,000 Teslas.
Yeah.
So Tesla stock is something that has been the talk of the town for a very long time. Shout out to Kenny Burns. I talked about it on his show today. The number one question is it too late to get into Tesla?
No.
How much more upside potential does Tesla have?
Yeah.
So who wants to start with?
I'll take the first. If you invested $10,000 when we did Stock Club last year, you'll be up 85,000. So I'm speaking from a place of experience, and I've been in since 17. Xander account is looking really damn good right now. It's going to pull back. It's never too late. I always tell you guys, like a technology company, which Tesla is a tech company masquerading as a car company, you're going to have a chance to pull in. Like it may get back to 865, 863 in that area. There will be a place where I'll be looking to buy and then run it back up to the upside. But I told Stock Club, I'll tell you guys here, but in less than 18 months, Tesla will go to 1,400 and some change. So when I tell you, please put in chat, hold for 10 years minimum. We talked about it at InvestFest, but like if you look since inception, Tesla's up 18x. The real trades that really are life-changing are the ones that you hold for a long period of time. I know some of you feel like, damn, I missed out. The next chance that you get to get in around like that 863 area, it'll be a good place to load the boat. It is going to pull back. Trust me, it's overextended. It's even dropped at close. today, but yeah, 865, 863, it'd be a good place to get in and hold it for 10 years. You'll be good.
Yeah, I think the news of having the price target getting raised has helped it, right? So we saw a bunch of analysts raise it to 1,100. A bunch of them. Some people went as high as 1,200. I saw maybe a 1,300, but that helps. The Hurt situation helps as well.
That
but
helps a hell of a lot. That was a great strategic.
And they had a great. They reported last week, like I said, when we did the earnings report, that they were going to report their earnings. They had a great quarter, right? So based on their September numbers, last year, the entire year, 2020, they did 500,000 vehicles. So based on the September projections, they're now on pace to sell 900,000.
Yeah. Right.
So you're talking almost double the output of cars that are being produced. The Hurt situation only helps even more, right? Because
it helps tremendously.
Are we still giving it to dead?
Listen, maybe not. Listen, we were talking about it earlier.
We gotta call Paul Bearer and an Undertaker.
Resurrected.
It's like even if they're not able to lease a whole bunch of them on that side, they could sell them back.
See that and that
profit.
That's why I was going with it, because now this is like one of those first times where even if you thought about having a Tesla, you can now rent it to see if you want.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that they ordered 100,000, if you do the math on that, 100,000 plus average price point, you're talking about $4 to $10 billion in revenue just from the Hertz deal. Yeah. So you're talking about revenue plus more cars being sold. Is it too late? Not based on that information.
It's a hell of a way to drive demand, for sure.
That's a fact.
Yeah, usually I kill Hertz, but I saw that. I was like, damn, that was a hell of a move that they made strategically to be able to increase in value. So, and then if their competitors jump on and do the same thing, it's even going to make them even more popular. So,
but I don't even think, even for Tesla right now, like we're going to stop with the competitors. Who is their competitor? As far as automotive companies, there isn't any. Right, like we can't. Right,
GM would be second.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like when you have the CEO of a company being worth more than the entire company, right? So you got the Ford, the GMs. We
have to remember Elon is great at those earning tricks. Right. Like whenever earnings come, he has a way to pull some tricks out of his bag to make sure he beats the number or be in profit. Yeah, that's why you can't bet against him. And I know people will be like, well,
no, not smart.
I don't like him for this reason. I'm like, you don't have to like him personally, but for my account, he has been one of the greatest drivers. Yeah.
And he might be the first person that actually could be a trillionaire.
Well, right? They said SpaceX.
When you combine the SpaceX valuation.
When SpaceX goes public.
He could be a trillionaire.
Yeah.
Which is like.
Space exploration alone is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity.
It's scary to think of.
He's almost definitely going to be a trillionaire. Once SpaceX goes public, if Tesla keeps going at the pace that's why they did that calculation.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible for him not to be a trillionaire.
And he's pumping Doge again. So if you can buy SpaceX and Dogecoin.
But you know what's interesting? They asked him what crypto he owns, and on Twitter he says the only crypto that he owns is Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin, which made Shiba coin go down.
Yeah.
Can we talk about? It's a perfect segue. Yeah. Can we talk about that? Because that's still something that's pretty hot out there in the streets.
People still touching that coin? Yeah.
People are chasing, and that's why I say because I used to get frustrated when I'm like, hey, this coin is bad. Why are you guys upset? I'm like, I'm attacking the asset, not you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I realized is like, this may be the only way that people are able to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to wait. If like Doge comes back down to 11 or 14, it may be a good place to get in. But other than that, I wouldn't chase like Shiba. And you have to make sure that the institutions are buying at a high enough price point. Like you can check out QuiverQuant, Wallmine to see.
Yeah.
And then get a fit. Or if you want a real cheat code while it's available, you can look at what Nancy Pelosi buying. Nancy may have the greatest
that article
track record.
It's her and her husband.
So talk about that. Talk about that.
My grandma told me don't touch anything geopolitically.
Yeah. So the story goes, if you follow the investments of her husband and her over the past 6 months or past year, every company that she's invested in has gone up by at least 15 to 20%, if not more. And so Business Insider wrote
on the low end, even our call options have been like 400% or 500%.
Crazy. So, it's crazy.
So how you know which company her husband's invested in?
You can go.
It's published. Like they have a whole article on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've pretty much spoken about most of them. Obviously, Tesla. Like there's a bunch of them that we already know and familiar.
The regular household names.
The regular household names. But it's just interesting that the timing of it was just like, wow, okay, they got in at the right point and obviously saw some incredible gains.
So one last thing about Tesla. How do you, all right, does this change your view on ARK or?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Because I know where you're going with like the ETF situation. And so like if most people were in XLY, I think we had this conversation earlier, you saw XLY run like at a ridiculous pace today, right? Because if you look at, and that's why we always talk about do the research. If you look at ETFDB and you look at the assets that are inside XLY, right, you'll see that Tesla's the number 2 allocation right after Amazon, which I believe is like Amazon's like 22% and Tesla's like 17.9. Somebody fact check me on that, but it's like 17.9%. So we watched that number run, and it's like Tesla's running. All right, here goes XLY, the ETF. Even though Amazon has had kind of a,
it's building the base. It's
flat, it's been flat, but the fact that Tesla's been running like it is, it's helped that ETF grow.
Yeah,
I'm good on the 17.9.
Well,
our ARC still in it. Kathy's gonna make a comeback. I will say that 2024, like when we hit our next bubble or recession, it'll take off to the upside. But you said XLY took off to the upside, and then ARC was not moving as much as it should have.
And if you look at the percentage allocation in ARC compared to XLY, you'll see the difference, right? 17% as opposed to 10%, which is in ARC, plus the other allocations inside of ARC. So you got like Teladoc and all these other companies that haven't really been moving.
Teladoc, that's what really hurt ARC was the Teladoc situation. It was a few, but
Roku's
Teladoc, they made a few. It wasn't just Tesla. It was a few of those stocks that didn't perform at a high level relative to the other market. So, all right, but it wasn't just a big day for Tesla. It was a big day for the stock market. NASDAQ's running crazy. Dow Jones is running crazy. S&P's running crazy. They all close to all-time highs right now.
Yeah, Dow and S&P all-time highs. NASDAQ getting close.
Yeah, so what does this say for the state of the stock market? Is this a good sign or is it a bad sign? The reason why I say it's a bad sign is because, of course, when things go too good, then the potential for a major pullback or a pullback period could happen, which could be a good thing, but also could be a bad thing if people aren't prepared for it. So,
or maybe not, right? Like we said this last year, and I'm glad that we've been on for 2 years because now we can go back and look at the records.
Yeah,
we said November is a month that you see 2% gains in the Dow, 2% gains across the board
historically.
And historically is that September, October, historically months where you see a pullback. And so obviously we're going into the fourth quarter, we're going to the holiday season. You start to see there's a slight gain inside the market. And so November's that month, December becomes that month. So the fact that we had a crazy week or so over the past, we've been having gains for pretty much on and off for the past month, but the fact that it wasn't catastrophic, like last October, I'll never forget, like October 28th, I circled it, we had a major pullback. The fact that hasn't happened, the caution sign, because that's shoddy. But for me, it was like, all right, well, safety first. So we didn't have a pullback, and we're going into a month historically where we see gains, which is November.
2 tech, 2 index, no stress. I know you guys want a more complicated Black Scholes, Black Swan based event model. Listen, if you have exposure to the index funds paired with technology, that's the reason why I wanted to make it, because the indexes would be the hedge. There's nothing to worry about. And the truth is, like, people need somewhere to put money. You can't, like right now, if you have money on the sideline, you have FOMO like crazy. You have coins that are running up like crazy, real estate running up. I'm even talking to people that are like flipping cars. They're like, I'm getting 200-300% on cars being flipped.
No, the car game is crazy right now.
Yeah, like you have to have the money at work for you. And I posted on Facebook the other day, I'm like, you need to put 80% of your money to work for you. If not, you're going to look back, like in the 2000s, we had a lost decade where the market was flat. I believe this next 10, like if you don't have money in the market, you are going to look back at this decade and be like, how the hell did I miss out on all these gains? Just like my family here missed out on turning off the damn ringer on.
Y'all can't see this, but Ian travels hefty. You got a whole team with him here. Hey, yo, clap it up real quick so they know y'all here.
What?
Yo, safety first. When you're in New York,
shout out to Revolt, man. That's one thing we learned on being on set. The first thing they do is everybody cut your ringer off, cut your phone. Like they tell everybody, they make that announcement. Quiet on set.
So gotta improv though. But yeah, simply for those of you who are asking, VOO, VTI, VUG are 3 good indexes. If you go ProShares or another company that have a version of that, please 2 tech, 2 index, no stress. You'll be good. I know some of you that don't have Tesla, you feel like you missed out. But you had Apple that's ran up, like even McDonald's. I told people in Stock Club, like McDonald's hit an all-time high recently. Like it's just a bunch of stocks that are going up. You have to have money at work for you, otherwise you're gonna lose out.
Yeah. So let's get into this conversation as far as Facebook.
Yeah.
So Facebook, there's a couple of different things that's interesting about Facebook.
Come on, Mark Zuckerberg.
The first thing is I put a post on IG last week about Facebook changing its name. We're gonna get into that because there's a lot into that. But then also, news came out today that it was an alarming trend that they found out. I don't know that why they didn't notice before.
Yeah.
But teenagers and young people are not using Facebook. It's declining at a rapid pace. Like I said, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's easy to figure out.
Yeah.
But Mark Zuckerberg came back and he painted a positive picture,
a rosy picture
for the company. So Facebook stock is something that is a cornerstone of the market. It's in a variety of ETFs. Is one of the big players. It's up there. So A, how do we feel about the company? And B, is it a good time to invest in Facebook stock long term or stay away from Facebook stock?
I've been telling everyone, if you are in Facebook, hold it. But if you are looking to add a new position, I wouldn't do it right now. Like it is a coordinated attack on Facebook right now. Now he isn't like by Wall Street. There's a bunch of venture firms that don't like him and they are starting to put their pieces together. But I told you guys, what was that, 4 weeks ago? TikTok is going to take over IG. Everyone's like, you're crazy. I'm like, you can't bet against Zuckerberg. I'm like, I know. I was trying to invest in 2004. Shout out to Stevie G who put me on to Facebook. Like the amount of money that would have been made in that deal would have been insane. So like you have to know when the trend is going to start and end. People that are younger than 30 years old do not like Facebook. And even those of us that are over 30, it's not as efficient as it could be. Yeah. So TikTok, if you're on it, is a more seamless platform, better experience. YouTube is a better social network. And then they have WhatsApp, but the innovations have not been as strong as they should be over the last 5 years of Facebook. So I love the company. The stock is a C right now. I wouldn't add to but if you have already been in it, sub 200, you're fine.
Check out this statistic right here, right? Teenage users of Facebook, the app, right, in the US have declined by 13% since 2019, right? That's 2 years ago, and are projected to drop by 45% over the next 2 years, driving overall decline in daily users in the company's most lucrative market. Facebook has become something that people look like, that's what my grandparents use.
Yes.
And nobody wants to go to the party with their grandparents.
No.
And so
like Facebook's like wearing FUBU out right now.
Shout out to FUBU.
Shout out to FUBU. I love y'all.
Damon.
For us, by us, right? But you not wearing the throwback.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to party with their grandma?
Well, no, I will say this. As a content creator, and I was uneducated about this, Facebook is not dead. And you have a way better chance. You can go viral. You can go viral easier on Facebook than you can on Instagram. Like
it's easy to go viral on TikTok though.
No, that's a fact. But Facebook, we got videos with like 900,000,
right?
A million, our number one video on Facebook has 5 million views. We don't have any video on Instagram, even though we have a way bigger presence on Instagram and we're way stronger on Instagram. So I would just encourage content creators not to give up on Facebook. It's still a way. It's still the biggest platform.
Yeah, it's by far. I mean, they have 2 billion users, but here's the thing, right? That core demographic that we're talking about that's watching those 5 million views is 25 to 45. Soon they'll age out of that group. Who's the next group coming in? If that group isn't consistent with staying with you, then you're going to lose an audience, right? If we're talking about 50% declines in teenagers, those teenagers will become adults. And so if you don't have those people coming to your site, then how do you sell the ad dollars, right? Because most of their money is made from ads.
Content is not as clean and good as it used to be.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like when you have like TikTok, which is obviously taking over for the young adults, it becomes tougher for you to sell ad dollars when you know the audience is declining. How do you now pitch it to a company? You know
and then the interesting space because they're in the middle. Like so, the Trump's thing that he wants to create would be at one polar opposite. TikTok is at another, and Facebook is in the middle. So you can't really have an edge if you're not really catering to anyone. The thing, like when me and Ty first got on it, when we was at IU, it was like for college people only. It was almost like an honor to be on there.
Yeah.
Now anyone can be on. Content isn't as good. The Russia thing. That was a smoke and mirrors campaign more than anything. But when you factor that in, the whistleblower, like they're putting so many things in play right now to take them down. It's a coordinated attack and it's working, but they have to clean up the platform. And they haven't taken a strong stance on who this is for over the last 4 or 5 years.
And even I know some people are like, well, doesn't Facebook own Instagram? Yeah, they own Instagram. But even in their reports, like even to that, seeing declines in the usage of Instagram, which is why they try to create Instagram team.
Yeah.
But then they had to.
Great.
Go ahead.
Easy question.
Go ahead.
Raise or put yes in chat if you've enjoyed using Instagram over the last year. Now, if you've been on TikTok or YouTube, which is easier to use? YouTube versus IG or TikTok versus IG? We're seeing a changing of the guard, and they need to acquire something else. Now, the metaverse thing could be very fascinating.
Yeah. So speaking about that, let's get into this conversation. So one of the reasons why Facebook is considering changing its name is because kind of like Google at Alphabet, they want to have all of the things it's already under one umbrella, but so Facebook owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
So a name change would, have all of their, vertical entities under one umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
But then also moving towards the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to 19 Keys. I know he spoke about that at InvestFest. The metaverse, something that we spoke about a few different times. When you talk about the world of augmented reality, when you talk about, the Oculus that they have with the glasses, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
This is something that, Mark Zuckerberg is fully focused on. This is my own personal opinion. I think that, all right, we see Elon Musk is kind of like carving out his niche in space and electric cars. Like everybody's kind of carving out their niche. So I think he sees this as an opportunity to brand Facebook as the face of the metaverse, augmented reality type of vibe. What do you feel about that?
So everything you just named, it makes it even clearer, right? Who's already in that space? Who's playing in that area? Teens, right? Young adults. How do I appeal to them? I got to go to what they're doing, right? So they're already playing in the Roblox and they've been accustomed to this. Well, how do I attract a younger audience to now use them as my customers going forward? I have to be in it. Like he sees it. You can see it clearly, right? My demographic of core audience is getting older. They're thinking that we're the grandparents of this thing. How do we get younger? Maybe rebrand it, maybe target the people who we know are in the space, obviously young teens and adults.
This reminds me of when Steve Jobs came back and they went on a run with iPod. Because now if you rebrand the company, because you already have the hardware in place, you have the users, and for all my business owners, this is why it's so important. You need to have a strong customer base. You have 2 billion people on the platform, probably 300 million could be in the metaverse. And once they're there, like I always thought they should have been acquired Fortnite. Like you need a gaming entity to drag them in because every brand needs the youth. This is why hip hop is so important. Like once you lose the youth culture, you don't have that much of an edge. So if they can master getting the metaverse down, the way P dropped his score, it's my guy. Facebook will go on a historic run and rebrand. Like in every brand, you have to. This is why, from a business perspective, I'll tell you, I focus on mastering price because without that, I don't have the sharpest sword. So Facebook went through 5 or 6 years where they didn't have a competitive advantage. If they get this metaverse down with that user base, with already having a hardware, and if you use Oculus is beautiful. People average gaming time and they'll probably be anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day. They'll make a hell of a comeback.
You don't want to live there.
Although Keys did say the HoloLens of Microsoft makes Oculus look like
crazy.
People just don't know about it in the movie theaters.
Yeah, people just don't know about it at scale yet, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
and Microsoft never done social well,
right? But they're like kind of the first in that space, right? The Oculus is kind of a big device to put on your face, and so like, that was the first person. How can we make it better? Let's make it smaller. Let's make it more.
Well, they teamed up with Ray-Ban.
That's true. So
and
now
they're going. It was like $99, something like that. So yeah, Facebook. If you didn't know, Facebook teamed up with Ray-Ban, and they're going to release kind of sunglasses. So the Oculus is like a huge thing, but these Ray-Ban glasses, he posted it on Instagram a few weeks ago. These Ray-Ban glasses, they look like regular Ray-Bans. So this is something that it could give Facebook a second win, because you're right, they are in trouble. And how I know that they're in trouble is my son. We was driving this weekend, and we was in the city, and he was asking me to go to this restaurant, and I'm like, why you want to go to that restaurant? And I realized the reason why he asked to go to it is because he saw it on TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, all of these videos of like rooftop, New York City.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? With that voiceover thing. But
Yeah.
this is what I realized is that, I don't know,
It's
but
a
that's
bunch of AI voices.
Oh my
what I realized is that this is how people are actually, this is like the new yellow pages. Like this is how people are finding businesses, restaurants, all of that. So TikTok, that's actually brilliant because that's like the new Yelp. Like people is actually going on there and whatever's trending, that becomes a destination of like, yo, I got to go there. I got to go to Hoboken, New Jersey to look at this rooftop that's overlooking the city. Because even I look at the videos like, damn, I'm gonna go to this restaurant.
Where is this?
No, it's very key. So speaking of young people and something that, you know, you always got to pay attention to young people. So like I said, Nasir, he's heavy on TikTok. He's on Instagram, but he's not really on Instagram like that. He's more on TikTok. He also introduced me a few years ago to a cultural phenomenon that once I got introduced to it, I became very, very interested and enthralled with, that made interesting news today, called Faze Clan.
Yeah.
Faze Clan, cultural phenomenon.
That's crazy.
Gaming crew who encompasses the whole culture. News broke that they partnering with a SPAC to go public early 2022.
Yeah.
$1 billion valuation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this SPAC situation for a little bit, because people still don't fully understand what this SPAC thing. It just took the whole world by surprise. What's a SPAC?
You want me to give you the technical definition? I will give you the technical definition. A SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company, hence the acronym SPAC. Basically, a pile of cash reserved for a merger that went through the initial public offering process. The entire point of SPACs is to find a private company to merge with. When that happens, the target company essentially goes public without some of the hassles of traditional IPO process. So if you're trying to go public, obviously, if you're trying to IPO, there's a long list of things you have to do. Yeah. I guess we can call this kind of the shortcut.
It's a backdoor way to go.
It's a shortcut,
to go public.
Go public, yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy. Faze Clan.
I mean, we were sitting together this morning. And I was like, yo, you gotta see this. And when he looked, I saw his eyes go, wow, because I know in his mind it's like content creators. That's $1 billion.
Gaming market. That's why I always tell my brother, like, being a gamer, you're in one of the biggest spaces that there is to be. But investors, venture capital, private equity, they have to spend money because you have to get a return for clients. So most SPACs fall apart because the underlying product is not good. They're acquiring, but this could be one if they have all the systems in place, an ecosystem that could do pretty well. But most SPACs fall apart. Here's the part that you guys don't realize: like the people that bring it forward, they have a protection, so they're guaranteed to be able to get some profit or at least break even. Yeah. Because I even had one brought to me, and my main question was, okay, what is the underlying business that you're going to acquire? Once I didn't get the answer I wanted, I'm like, I'm not going to put my reputation on the line to make a quick flip on it. Like it doesn't make sense to do so. That's why you see even like Chamath was having a great run and then it slowed down, which goes back to the core of what we talked about with Facebook. Like the underlying business has to be incredible. Like once you go public, great, you may get a bang. Yeah. Trump's offering went crazy, but it's like if the underlying product is not amazing, eventually it's going to fall flat and end up negative. And that's why I always tell you guys just invest in the best companies on earth, so you'll be safe.
Yeah. So right now, they have, that's what they're looking at, right? Like, yo, we go public, but what are we offering? So right now they're an esports company. They have merchandise, they have digital content, which is kind of how they got the evaluation. And we kind of spoke about valuations, how they rated. Yeah. So here's the math on it really quickly. Before they went public, before they got the SPAC deal, the estimated revenue was $50 million for this year. Incredible. $50 million from merchandising, esports, which is a huge industry, and obviously the digital content. They got a multiple of 20, right?
Which is fair.
Because obviously it's technology, the e-gaming, there's a lot, the digital space.
Yeah.
So they got a multiple of 20. So if they did 50 million this year, you do the times 20.
This is fair valuation.
This is how you get the valuation.
And here's the crazy part. Put in chat if you ever heard of this entity before. Like they don't even have 50% market share yet.
Who? Faze Clan?
Yeah. So like as they continue to grow, like if they become the number one gaming group there is, they may be worth $100 billion. At some point, e-gaming and esports is probably going to be the number one genre of athletics.
It has that same business model in it, why we love Google, why we love Disney. The audience will always get younger, right? Like we may not be playing games, but our kids are playing games. When our kids have kids, they're most likely going to be playing games. And so even now, I like the vision of it. They're looking at what can we acquire to prove the valuation. Yeah. And so that one of the things that the CEO said, he was like, look, we're looking for hardware companies, software companies, and add other type of tech brands into their portfolios. This is the interesting part, right? They have 350 million followers across TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. This is the number though. 80% of the audience is between the ages 13 to 34.
And that audience can grow with them for a 20-year cycle.
Easy.
Yeah.
And then here comes the next cycle.
Yeah.
Right? Because those 34-year-olds, the 34-year-olds probably have the 8 or 9-year-olds who are all going to be a part of that population. I mean, gaming is what it is. My kids been playing games since they were 4 or 5 years old.
It's so important. Like once you build that base and have that killer fan base that loves what you do, like it's still niche, even though the valuation is at $1 billion, they are going to have tremendous upside.
No, I went Shadi. I want because when we saw the message, I sent it to him. I saw his mind go crazy. From a creative standpoint, what was your thoughts though? From a creator,
I mean, you already know. Who have I been comparing Faze Clan to for the last 6 months? To anybody that would listen. We talk about that later on, though. Man.
Certain things will need to be said. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody on YouTube. 7,600 people, man. I just want
Panda, y'all been checking in. I love y'all.
I want to
yo, what up? 7,600? Wow.
Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. All right, I just want to give as much value as possible because I know today's a big day. So I've been wanting to talk about this briefly for a while because I know that, as I said, there's new people that always watch Market Mondays, and we want to make sure that every once in a while we can just give some basic information that everybody can use. So I want to talk about, if we can, for a couple minutes, retirement planning. So this is something that's extremely important. Most people's net worth is tied up in two things: their house and their retirement plan. The vast majority of people that have any investment in the stock market, vast majority of that is in a retirement plan. So you could be a teacher and make $100,000 a year, $90,000 a year, and you might have a brokerage account. You might not have a brokerage account, but you might have 400,000 in your 403b. It's very, very common. Yeah. So a lot of people have a lot of money in retirement plans. So I just wanted to talk about retirement planning a little bit, but from a different aspect, something that we spoke about before, but I think it needs to be revisited. So, of course, we have to stay up to date with the time. So in 2022, the rules are going to change as far as how much money that you could put in. So you could put in 20,500 into a 401k. If you're over 50, you could put 27,000. That's a jump from last year. Nice. But for the SEP IRA, you could put 61,000. So for all my business owners out there, this is something that's extremely important because you could put 20,000 into a regular 401k. And the benefit of that is that, of course, it lowers your taxable income. So you're saving money on taxes, meaning if you make 100,000, you put 20,000 into a 401k, you're taxed on 80,000. But as a business owner, you could put up to 61,000 in 2022. The lesser of 25% of your income or 61,000. So if you're making, a lot of money, and I know a lot of people that watch Market Mondays make a lot of money because they implement the ideas. Yeah. So, so if you're making that kind of money, you could put, that's a substantial amount of money that you could put away. And not only does it go against your taxable income, but, it's growing. And it's growing tax deferred. It's not being taxed as long as you actually leave it in, and you only pay taxes when you take the money out. So a couple of investments that you can do. I mean, we talked about this before. Franklin Diamond Tech Fund is one that I'm very, very passionate about. I said that before on our episode, and it's been running ever since. Of course, you got the QQQs of the world, XLK, XLY. You really can't go wrong with any of those type of ETFs that have Apple and Microsoft in it, or those type of companies, technology ETFs. And the reason why I like the Franklin Diamond Tech Fund also is because it's a tech fund, but it's only 40% in tech. So it has automobile exposure, it has natural resources exposure. So it's not like putting all your eggs in one basket.
And the drawdown is super low.
Yeah.
Like they barely drop any, like even during 2020, they dropped a little bit, recover real fast. So yeah. So somebody said teachers make 90, 100,000 where?
Yo. Who said that? Who said that? We make that here in New York.
Nah, New York. The New York teachers definitely get paid that. That's a fact. Troy was a New York teacher, so that's how I know these numbers.
He's my yo, you my financial advisor. You can't be telling them that. We do. Shout out to all the teachers that make 100 plus. That used to be the target.
But the trick bag is that 100,000 in New York is not 100,000 in Oklahoma. So
yeah,
you know, true. It's cost of living is a little different. But also the Roth IRA is something that's extremely important as well. The Roth IRA allows you to put money into it, and the difference between the Roth and the traditional is that the money does not go against your income. But when you take it out in retirement, it's tax free. So that's a big difference, because it's like if you have a 401k, you have $1 million in your 401k, you take out that whole $1 million at one time, it's fully taxable as ordinary income. So, you know, depending on what state you live in, you could pay up to 55% of the money in taxes. So it's like you think you have $1 million, but you really have $500,000.
Yeah, when you factor in inflation, if you retire in 20 years.
Yeah. So, but the Roth, if you have $1 million, you take it out, you get $1 million. And then a lot of jobs offer the Roth 401k. So if you're at a job, you should just check if your job offers a Roth 401k, because that's a way where you can actually put money away for your retirement, but not have to pay taxes when you take the money out. So retirement planning is extremely important. And like I said, it's something that, you know, most people are invested in retirement plans and they don't even know like what they're invested in. It just comes out of their paycheck and they just have it. So we can have a way more involved conversation, but I just wanted to just throw that in there real quick. Cause like I said, I think a couple of weeks ago, I talked about like college savings. So every now and then I want to just talk about these fundamental financial planning things, insurance, retirement planning, college savings, because it's important to have that. I look at like building a house. You can't build the house until you have the foundation set. All of these things are like foundational things. So,
and if your foundation isn't set, please come to Market Mondays live at Apollo Theater.
Oh, please.
Next month. Working on my segues too. VOO 38252.
That's the number.
VTI. Wi-Fi would be okay. 21650, and then Apple 12703, and you'll be good.
That's the number.
Let's talk about Donald Trump while we're at it. So Donald Trump, they announced last week that he is starting a social media, which makes perfect sense because he's been kicked off of every social media. So he's been doing what we say all the time, as far as like, don't beg for, create your own.
Yeah.
So he's creating his own social media platform. Well, he's partnering with a company to create a social media platform. Mm-hmm. And the SPAC, it went up 350% in one day.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of capital in one day.
That's a lot. That is a lot. How do you feel about that?
The last time Donald Trump had a publicly traded company, it went out of business pretty fast, and most of his endeavors fall apart. But if he does not have to be the operator, this thing actually has a chance.
Yeah.
Like if you look at brand value, and it's the part about being too democratic that can be an issue. Because if you were to let him just stay on Twitter, there would not be a chance for him to raise this amount of money in this amount of time. Now, there's a couple ways you can play it, but if he gets some of the people that have been kicked off, like Alex Jones, Target's Ben Shapiro, Umar Johnson, Minister Farrakhan, I can even see Andrew Schultz going over there. If he gets the right collection of 20 people,
you think Trump could get Farrakhan?
That's
gonna be an interesting. That'll be very interesting.
It may not be him directly, but if a CEO or a COO goes to him and say, "Hey, your voice is needed. We want a platform for those who want to speak freely." There's a vacuum, like the same way. And I don't want to go here politically, but the way we exited Afghanistan made a vacuum for that group to take over. In the same fashion, deplatforming people makes room for this to be able to happen. So at first, when I saw it, I was like, okay, there's no value, but the brand right now is probably worth $40 billion.
That quick.
So if they sell off or they acquire a couple of good companies, as people saying, well, he doesn't have the capability, acumen to build. I'm like, they could do an acqui-hire. They could build, even if they bought Telegram and turned it into something, you already have a base in there. And if they get 16 to 17 people, this could be something of note. It's scary to see, but with the right people on that platform.
So your mind is thinking like right now, if they go public, they're going to try to start acquiring right away.
Because they
have so much.
Making capital. A product that is sticky is hard.
Yeah.
But if they acquire something that is user-friendly enough,
and
people can speak freely, and then they can moderate everything, properly, that platform actually has a chance because everything has gotten so watered down. There is an extreme left and right because there's no value in being a centrist. Like Hillary lost the election being down the middle. And even how Biden hasn't been able to get anything passed. And people are going to say because of the filibuster, but I'm like, you're not dictating how a president should lead. Like we're almost going to run up on 4 years, and you can argue Trump did get more passed than Biden is getting passed in the same time frame. So you have to be careful when the people you deplatform, if they have heart, chutzpah, and they're going to be a thorn in your side.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to keep them on a platform in which you can control them, opposed to creating their own. Because if he gets the right 20 or 30 people, this thing could be a force.
Right. Because I mean, when you deplatform them, then you also deplatform their following. Yes. In a sense, right? And we know that over 70 million people voted for that man.
Yes.
And we know there's a bunch of people that will follow him on those platforms. And so now, I mean, we saw what happened on January 6th. And we saw like a lot of the country felt like that. And so now it's like, let's go here, let's go support it. So imagine people now with that same mindset of let's support are now let's invest.
And if they play both ends against the middle, because I'm sure they'll get a black advocate to reach out to Rizza Islam. And
yeah.
You shout out to Rizza Islam.
You
another
could
deplatform. Shout out to Rizza Islam.
In 18 months, and if they give them enough equity and they get if they get Ben Shapiro a $50 million deal and Farrakhan a $50 million deal, they're going over there.
You know what's interesting? When we talk about moral investing, right? Money will make you do things right? So when people saw the stock go up.
So the stock, by the way, is DWAC.
Yeah.
That's
Digital
the
World Acquisition Corp.
That's the share. Yeah. That's the symbol, stock symbol.
Digital World Acquisition Corp. But people are like, look, I'm trying to ride this thing up as far as I can go. Like this is some money that could be made. It wasn't like, yo, I didn't support Trump. It was like, yo, can we make money today? But you're supporting him.
Whatever you invest in or trade in, you're giving capital to help hurt you or help support you.
Right.
So if you didn't vote for him during the election, but if you traded it, because now if they stay above, I'm looking at the chart now, if they stay above $60, they are a real competitor. And if they acquire a smaller social platform, they're going to have a hell of a head start. And let's be honest, I'm on Twitter often. Twitter has lost its magic, and you can argue because Jack has Square, and you're going to put the attention on the moneymaker. Square is the moneymaker. Twitter isn't as compelling as it used to be. There's no edge in social. So now he's going to focus on fintech.
Yeah.
That's leaving another big ass vacuum there in which they'll be able to attack. Like, I think it's going to be an issue of management. Trump can't run the company. But I'm very terrified of what could be built here over the next 12 months.
8,000 people on the check-in.
Oh, word?
I love you all.
Yo, shout out. Yeah. Shout out. Yo, shout out to MG, the mortgage guy.
Shout out to MG, to my brother MG. Good, but yeah, this stock is not so. All right, it went down $10 today, but it's up $5 in after hours, and it's at 89. It's at $89 in after hours. It was $9 a week ago.
Yeah, and if it stays above 60. That gives them a lot of purchasing power.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you about it. This is gonna work. If Trump can keep his head, which is
you like Trump, don't you?
No, we can't do that.
Right, clip that up. I'm joking.
Don't put that on me.
No, we invited you. You gonna do this to us right now?
Yo.
If it was funny, put funny in chat.
Yo, don't put that on me, man.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. He has an extremely loyal base, and there's a very large percentage of people that's interested in like look at Fox News. It's been number one for so long. So they never really had a social media platform where they can fully, just go down that path. So
he'll suck the volume out of Fox News if this works.
He's gonna be unfiltered.
He's gonna knock that out the park. Like if this is actually work, if he builds Instagram or TikTok for alternative audiences, you won't need Fox. He'll be because also now he loves the media. He's going to build a TV component, podcast division around it, touring. Like he can do like if every Friday night he went on live.
Yeah. And on top of it, in 3 more years, he'll be like, "Oh, it's time for me to run again." Now I got.
He's gonna run this
exactly, and I got a big audience.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And I can talk to them anytime I want. And now you can't stop me.
Yeah.
Some platforms
different.
Let's give them maximum value, man. It's almost it's
you want to talk. I mean, we spoke about Jack a little bit. You want to talk about the hyperinflation situation?
Really quick. I will say this, and we'll talk about it more in detail soon, but Bitcoin is one of probably the best ways to aid against hyperinflation. But even in California, some places are almost at $8 for gas.
Yo, you know what the highest inflation is in the world?
Where?
Nigeria.
I can believe it.
Interesting.
16%. 16%.
I mean, there's some places that 40%. I mean, I'll talk about it in detail one day, but even like the Zimbabwean dollar at one point was worth.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Loaf of bread was like $1 million.
Yeah. And it's in particular countries in which these things happen. So please be mindful. And that's why I tell you guys, like, you can love a cryptocurrency and you guys be like, well, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But like, if we come off the petrodollar, we will be turned into a third world country because the price of everything will go up probably 50x. That's the only lever that we have. Since we haven't been on the gold standard, the only leverage that we have is that those who trade and invest in oil will pay in our dollar. If that goes away, we're done for.
Yeah.
So please be mindful. This is why I tell you guys to invest, because the only way you can beat inflation. And this is why you're seeing so much money pumped into the market, because if the price of everything is going up, you have to have a way to offset that cost.
Yeah, and people are like $8 gas, but that doesn't seem too far away. We were just in California with $6.50. Yeah. Shout out to Dave Gross while we're on California.
Shout out to Dave Gross. That's my bro. Right Troy, what stock are you looking? I know you're always looking at some stocks. What stock are you looking at?
Well, I told people a month ago, and I spoke to Ian about it. I said, look, keep an eye on Zscaler. Please keep an eye on Zscaler.
Talk about that. What is that?
So Zscaler is a cybersecurity company. And I know we spoke about CrowdStrike a lot, but there's always a number two in the space. And so with more people coming into the cyber world, what we say every time, safety first. And so I looked at their earnings. I looked at, their profit. I said, look, this is a company we need to keep an eye on. At that time, it was like $240. Yeah. Today it went to an all-time high of like $314. Yeah, $314. And so that one, and obviously, y'all know, I thought somebody was going to DM me. We saw Disney go down to 168, and I know we put the target at 165, but it was almost time. And so obviously still keeping my eye on that. And Zscaler for sure. What else I got on my list? Obviously we already spoke about Affirm, but yeah, man, those are the ones that we definitely, if you invested in them, congratulations. If you didn't, like I said, we don't always say it's too late, but do your research and find out.
You don't got to do. We did all the research for you. Price to get in, how long to hold, future price projections. You're good. Like, I've tried to make you guys' job so easy that you don't have to think about anything, so you can enjoy time with your family. Yeah, have fun, go play with the Oculus Rift or whatever you want to do. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of questions in the chat. People asking, can they invest in Faze Clan? Yes, and when it be IPOs, you can invest in Faze Clan. The ticker is going to be FAZE.
Well, the SPAC is actually out right now.
Yeah, but the company they want to know when they can buy Faze Clan.
But you can buy the SPAC.
Yeah, you can buy the SPAC.
BRPM is the SPAC.
Yeah.
But Troy, let's talk about Disney. We haven't spoke about Disney in a while. Disney's 6 months chart does not look encouraging.
Yeah, but that I'm not thinking about this as a short-term investment, right? So,
no investment should be.
And so when I think about Disney, obviously we haven't fully come out of a pandemic yet, right? We're slowly climbing out. But like I said, the way that the digital space looks now, especially with them, they're going to pass Netflix in the next 2 to 3 years. I like that potential. I like the potential of growth in the amusement parks being back open. Their licensing is only getting stronger with new content and new characters being created. I'm big on that. Like I said, they have an audience that will always get younger. And if we can find companies that are going to have a built-in audience, especially that's going to get younger, number one, the kids will have attention. And what the first thing kids do, can you buy? Can you buy? Can you buy? Can you buy me this? Can you buy me this? Can you buy me this? Yeah. So they're always going to have a user base and a customer base built into their ecosystem. So
Disney, 10 years ago, Disney was $36. It's at $172 today.
Yeah. And it went to 79 in 2020, and it went to 203. For it to be a non-tech stock, that's amazing growth. Like, we're getting spoiled with 30, 40, 50% gains. This is like the universe we live in now over the last year and a half, to be able to pull out 500 to 1,000%. It's rare air. Yeah. And please be patient, because you're going to sell off too early. Like, even during the recession, I was telling everyone, hey, like, get it at 89, get it at 75, continue to hold it. You'll be good. Shout out to Drew, who executed on it. if you have kids, you can see the impact that this has, but some of the debt on the amusement park side is the only thing that's driving them down, but they're not like a pure tech stock. Like this is hella great gains for a company like this that is not.
Yeah, they're solely, I mean, the profits are pretty much coming from Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like solely. And so, like you said, when you put all those things back into the fold with Disney Plus, which is only growing, and that doesn't mean I hate Netflix. We spoke about Netflix.
Shout out to Big Draco.
Yeah, shout out to Big, and we already spoke about Squid Game.
Who made us watch Squid Games at his house.
How that's worth a $900 billion valuation, just Squid Game in itself and the marketing behind it. And like I told you with the deal with Walmart, and doesn't mean I don't like Netflix. I do like Netflix, but I obviously, if you look at the projections, and yes, their original content is getting good. It's pretty good, but they will be passed in the next 3 years by subscriber growth. That's a fact. You know what also I'm looking at? Live Nation. And I told you.
You've been telling people about
that. Oh
that
my gosh. You know I've been saying this. It was $47. I said, look, at some point we're going to open this thing back up and people are going to go back to concerts. And that is happening. People are going back to concerts. Even with vaccine mandates, people are going back to concerts. I think, was it at like $100 right now?
It's $102.85.
We've been saying this since it was $47.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
$47.
You're strong on that.
Live Nation is a strong company. People are back outside. People are going to shows. They want to be outside and going to shows. They support.
Even MGM Resorts is up like, 49. Yeah, people don't want to stay in the house. Like, and also too, like from a personal standpoint, people don't have but people don't have personal accountability enough to stay in the house. So these reopening stocks that were there last year, they're eventually going to take off. They may not take off the same way as Tesla and Netflix, but they're there. That's why I keep telling you guys, like, hold for a 10-year period and you'll be good.
Please.
The biggest issue is everyone wants to get 1,000% return, so then you can go buy Balenciaga and Bottega real quick. It's like, as a person that can do it, it means nothing.
Yeah.
Like being able to take, like, write in chat, who is the person that you love the most right now? If they got sick, do you have enough in your account right now to take care of them for the next year or two if you needed to? That Gucci's not going to give you that same feeling, because like the part that does not get talked about in our community, you can buy time. Like, I love that movie with Justin Timberlake called In Time. Like, you guys should go watch it. Like,
Great movie.
You can extend someone's life in a healthy fashion if you have enough capital to do so. But I want us to forego the luxuries and treasures of right now for the treasures that we can end up having in the future. Or you can do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm going to keep my baby Xander in these stocks for 40 years. I'm going to continue to be in them. Dream Team's been in them. And we'll run it up, but come join us.
And I told, if you look at Live Nation's chart, so people asking the ticker LYV, look at the chart. Look at the pace they were on pre-pandemic. They were on pace to have a record breakout year. The number of ticket sales were at an all-time high. The projections for 2020 were going to be incredible. Corona obviously cut it. I mean, it looks like a knife got sliced, right? Exactly when the pandemic hit. And now they're peaking again. All right.
And the same thing happened in 2008. They were from $2.47 up to 16, which is about 8x growth. Take that multiplier. If you put 8x over the low of 2020, it'll tell you the target price you should be looking to get out of for Live Nation.
Yeah. And one last thing about Disney. Shout out to Francis and Jehu from Cheat Code, EYL, tenured EYL University professors. And they spoke about consolidation period. And if you look at this chart, the consolidation thing is, Ian was on that YouTube live the last time we did YouTube live with Ian and Francis. So it's looked like it's been consolidating for about 6 months. And it's like a pressure cooker with the consolidation thing where it consolidates until a point where it explodes. And
it's time to build a base.
We just saw that with AMD, right? How patient were you with AMD? We watched it and it hit an all-time high today.
I put a substantial amount of money in my AMD option when I was down. Mind you, I was already down a substantial amount, but I understood that there was a chip shortage. We talked about that a lot, but then also understanding the charts that AMD was consolidating for a long time, like months. And a lot of people got frustrated with AMD and sold their AMD and it went crazy.
The reason you guys don't have the money you want, because you won't stick to a plan long enough for it to materialize. You see me now doing this. Ty, how long we been brainstorming about this? 03? I was playing diplomatic community like crazy with Hell Rail when we first started getting into this heavy. hold for a longer, and the reason I can talk crazy like this, bro, I'm free. Like, and I want y'all to be free. You have to hold this shit long enough for it to materialize for you. A 3-month consolidation period, like you guys are upset when we hit all-time highs, upset when we bottom out in 2020, upset when it consolidates. What do you want?
It's part of it.
This is every business, and for those of you that are athletes, you will have a peak time in your season. There'll be a time when you're like in the middle of the season and doing okay, and then you have your games where you just don't do well. That is true in life, but you have to take advantage of those consolidation periods. And this is when you can buy more shares. Please write this down. In a period of consolidation, that is the time to build my base.
Mm-hmm.
You should be happy. If you think a stock is going to take off to the upside and it's ranging flat, you should be elated. And when it takes off to the upside, you'll be good.
Yeah. So our 2020 people who've been with us since day one, y'all should know patience. Patience. I'm glad, like I said, that we're on for almost 2 years, so you can actually see the rewards of patience. And so we spoke about AMD. They got their earnings. So let me just do the earnings report. All right. Y'all already know, man. We talked about life insurance and Shai just talked about it. So it makes sense why people get life insurance, especially term coverage, which is surprisingly affordable. Why not pay a bit each month to protect the ones you love? If you're asking that question, I want you to check out Ladder. Ladder makes it impressively fast and easy to get covered. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithms work in real time, so you'll find out instantly if you're approved. No hidden fees and cancel anytime. And since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So check out Ladder today to see if you're instantly approved. Go to ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. That's LADDER life.com/Market Mondays. Ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. Make sure y'all invest in your life insurance. It's very important. It's not for the people who live. It's for the people who die.
No, it's a fact. No,
I mean, it's not for the people who die. It's for the people who live.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into the earnings. This is a big week. And we talked about a lot of these companies. Obviously, we saw Facebook reported their earnings today. But tomorrow, the company we just spoke about, AMD, will be reporting. Our favorite, Microsoft, will be reporting. Another one of those.
Yes, buy it.
Yes. Another one of those $1 trillion companies. Google will be reporting.
Yes, buy it.
Visa will be reporting.
Yes, buy it.
3M, another company we spoke about, will be reporting. Robinhood will be reporting as well. Shout out to the team.
And as much as people hate Robinhood, the stranglehold that they have on the industry has not went down. No one has an easier user interface.
It's like the entry brokerage for people to use.
Yep.
So as bad as people want to bash it,
they're still using it.
Yeah, they're still using it. Yeah. So they'll be reporting. And Twitter, like we said, Jack Dorsey is the CEO of Twitter, obviously the CEO of Square. And so you just said that the focus has been on Square for the most part in the fintech space, but he still has Twitter. Wednesday, Coca-Cola will be reporting. Boeing. Remember, Shotty, that was your company.
Boeing.
You should have stayed in when I told you. He should have stayed in.
Shout out. Well, I made a bunch of money in other stuff. Where's Boeing at these days?
In the 220s?
220?
Yeah.
No. 212. 212.
Yeah, 212.
It was in the 220s.
212.
Okay. So we got Boeing reporting. We got Ford. ServiceNow will be reporting, and Teladoc. You still in that, Jerome? The hell no. They'll be reporting on Wednesday as well. Thursday, we got Shopify, Amazon. Oh man, Amazon. Love Amazon.
Amazon is building a hell of a base right now. Yep. If they don't do another, and I hope they do a split, but 3-year target for Amazon, 5,500 flat.
You said 55?
My name is my name.
The purple globe travels.
Just saying.
Apple,
probably do a split though.
The world's wealthiest company, will be reporting on Thursday, and Caterpillar, especially when we talk about industrials. And obviously, we know there's an industrial bill that is sitting in Congress, waiting to be either approved or not. So they'll be reporting as well. So Caterpillar will be reporting on Thursday.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some questions. We got Ian in the building today, so I'm sure people, have some questions. Let's bring up Jam. But before we do, if you just joined or you joined past, when we had made an announcement, Market Mondays, we are taking this show on the road and we're going on tour. And the first stop is the legendary Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York, on Black Friday. We're doing a live show on Black Friday, Market Mondays, EYL, Ian, the Master Investor. And then Saturday, we will be doing a workshop. And the workshop is a VIP experience where you actually get to interact with us and we're going to be hands-on, and we're going to bring our friends, and we're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about crypto. We're going to be talking about investing and
the futures market with Dream Team.
Yeah, and we're going to have it catered. It's going to be a whole experience. So we'll announce more details on that as the time comes. But go to marketmondays.com and get your tickets. New York, this is something that you guys been asking. You from New York, but you do everything in Atlanta, You're going to Africa, you're doing all this stuff, Jamaica.
Stock Club and Snipers alone gonna sell it out. I'm telling you. They've been like, yo, when y'all come to New York, I want to, this the one.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Market Mondays live at the Apollo, Black Friday, VIP experience, Saturday. So the whole Thanksgiving weekend we got for you guys. So check us out. Check us out. Yeah. Legendary vibes only.
November 26th.
Legendary vibes only.
Bring all your trading questions, investing questions. I'm gonna give you that real deal. I won't call it Holy Trinity Part 2, but it's gonna be incredible. Same vibe.
Jen.
Hey guys.
How are you, Queen?
What's the deal?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy to see you again.
Happy to see you too. It's nice to see you guys together.
How we looking? We looking good, right?
You guys look like a boy band or something.
Lighting's good.
Yeah, you guys look good. Hello to the earners in the chat and everybody on YouTube. Nice to see everyone.
Yeah, we got 8,500 people in the YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Put the like button up, please. Hit that like button, please.
Showing up more. Yes, Red Panda family, immediately hit the like button.
Thank you.
Or I will cancel Stock Club call.
Oh,
play with me if you want.
There will be consequences.
Greatest group of investors on the planet. We are. Let's go. I love y'all.
Well, before we get into questions, I definitely want to shout out the business club. They had a women's pitch party last Thursday, and it was incredible. Anthony and Tori, they are the leaders of the club, and they talked about how Black women entrepreneurs are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the country, and how they have a hard time finding investors. So they broke down what an angel investor is, what VCs are, and let the earners go ham. Everybody was able to pitch their business, and then they got feedback. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud to be an earner. So if you were on the call, please, give yourself a round of applause. It was amazing. So I want to shout them out, and also the UK-based earners that met yesterday. Thank you, Jatali. I sent her a text this morning because she went crazy. The earners loved it, and also Scarlett for putting those meetings together. So
yeah. We got chapters all over the world. We have a UK chapter, EYL University. So, and we got a Canada chapter, EYL University. We got something special for that. So shout out
to Jatali. She was actually in the UK and surprised them by meeting them there. They thought it might have been like a virtual, but she was there. So shout out to her.
It's a community. It's a community. So yes, and Jan is a member. She's not only
Jan's everywhere.
She's the original member of EYL University. So shout out to Janet.
What revenue stream have you added this week, Queen?
Let's start there.
Well, I actually went to a Tesla dealership. I'm looking into purchasing one for Turo. I figure, go big or go home. So I'm looking into that.
No, Jan, we can't go home. It's go bigger, go bigger.
So you gonna purchase a Turo? Are you gonna purchase a Tesla and put it on Turo?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
You need a partner?
Ian, I'm ready when you are. Listen.
You text me. I'm good.
And I want to shout out all the Rhode Islanders and my Cape Verdeans that I watch. I get so much love from you guys. It's amazing. And so shout
out to Cape Verde, man. I got put on to the
you
Cape
guys
Verde.
going to Cape Verde. You got to talk about that.
Cape Verde's a vibe. Heavy in New England.
Yes.
Shout out to my man Just.
What up?
Yeah. Shout out to all my Cape Verdeans. Definitely a vibe, and we will be coming to Boston, Providence, that whole New England.
Now you guys have to come to Providence. Boston can wait. You guys have to come to Providence.
Got you.
Shots.
Sorry to all my Bostonians. You guys could drive the 45 minutes. It's okay.
Shout out to New England. But it's always good to hear from you, Janet. Your updates, your business updates have become part of the show. A lot of people have been drawing inspiration from hearing your business updates. So I'm glad that you are getting up and running in the Toro game, and keep us updated. But yes, let's get a couple questions if we can.
All right, Hubert, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please.
Rashad's transitions are flawless.
Hey, Janet, can you hear me?
What's going on, brother? We hear you.
Hubert, what's going on?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Great,
How are you?
man.
Question for y'all. And first, I just want to say thanks for everything y'all are doing. I'm a recent earner and a stock club member from InvestFest.
Appreciate you, family.
So my question, or a little background, I'm 32 and I'm part of the FIRE community. So I've always invested in 401k, index funds, all that good stuff. And I'm in the stock club, so I'm leaning toward futures trading and getting out of corporate next year. And I've got 401k, and I know we can roll over to an IRA, but my question is, I own VFIX, or the Vanguard S&P index in it, and I've got about a little over 700 shares at an average price of $250. And I know it's at
VFIX?
Yeah, VFIAX.
Okay.
So what's your question though, bro?
My question is, it's at current highs right now, and obviously if I do end up retiring, it'll be in March. I know when you roll over to an IRA, you're pretty much cashing out your position. And since I have an average price of about $250 right now, would it be better to keep it in my current brokerage account, or actually move it and then start looking into the 2-Tech-2 index kind of deal?
I mean, the market is such a fever pitch. We're at all-time highs. I would not have you roll out of it. One of the biggest mistakes you can, like, once you're on a winning train, please don't jump off, because even if you could get, let's say, 12% better gain, sometimes, like, when people say they're going to roll over, they don't get out when they should and re-enter when they should as well. I don't want you to have any lapses in the market, so I think you'll be fine. As far as leaving corporate, what's your primary motivation for wanting to leave? And I'll tell you personally, I don't want you to leave from investing. I don't want you to leave your job for trading yet. Wait till you've hit the Holy Trinity target 5 times and then consider it, because the pressure that you'll feel trading, especially if you have family that you have to take care of, sometimes can be too much to face. So don't leave yet. I know everyone thinks that being an entrepreneur is glamorous. It's not. You're going to work 5 times as much to sometimes make half as less as you do, but wait till you hit the targets first, and then you could begin to plan your exit out of corporate.
Gotcha.
I'm looking at this chart, man. This looks pretty healthy.
Yeah, I wouldn't get out of it.
Yeah. You said you got 700 shares?
Yeah.
Don't get out.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living again?
I do outside sales for actually Ian's mentioned this ticker before, but for pool.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the motivation. Let that be your fuel to practice. And hit me on Telegram if you need help to be able to hit some of these trades. There's a 1 or 2 that probably the dream team and I can throw you to help get you some good gains, and you'll be good. But don't leave until you have the money secured. Because you got to factor in taxes, health insurance, which is incredibly high, and then the reserves that you need to even have the confidence to be able to go full-time. But use that as motivation. Get the money secured first, and then you'll be a-okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Also, I know, Ian, I know you sometimes mention on Telegram to reach out to you, but how do you actually?
My username is Red Panda Ian. Everyone, please don't blow me up. But my username is Red Panda Ian.
Too late for that.
Yeah. So
that's like that again, but thanks.
I'll put it in the chat.
My God, I'm gonna catch on fire.
Oops, I sent it to everyone.
Oh man, that's like
thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Your number. That's like putting your number on Twitter.
Oh, I did that one time on the show here, and you looked like me, like, what you doing?
Oh yeah, you did that. You did that. I remember you did that on YouTube.
Number.
You did it on YouTube. That's before we had Market Monday. We was just doing YouTube lives.
Yeah.
You changed your number.
You were sitting on the couch then.
Yeah.
Yeah. The couch.
Different.
The couch was legendary with the computers.
Yeah.
Computers. We might have to go back to that.
You got the rolly chair.
Yeah.
That's what Ben was like. Yo, he just turned around and looked at the numbers.
No, that was legendary. That was that's when they was like, yo, this dude's crazy. All right, great question, bro. Best of luck. Best of luck to you. Janet.
Who we got, Jan?
Who's next?
Linnell Owens. Unmute yourself, please. She's a new earner, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I've never seen this name. Linnell, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing? Can you hear me?
We hear you perfectly.
Good. Okay. So I'm not a new earner, but I am new to the stock. So that's okay, Janet. I found the guys back in February of 2019.
Ooh.
And I kind of me and my husband just listened to y'all.
Okay.
And then we got into real estate, and I am a nurse. He's a dental assistant at All Military Base. So we are really busy. We have 4 kids. And so we're just now got our 2 investment properties. We've been following MG. We got that down. So now we need to learn stocks. And being a nurse in a hospital, 10 hours shift, 5 days a week, it is really hard to keep up with y'all. So from the Red Panda table, I just want to learn more about stocks. Where should I start? Should I start all over? I am a EYL member. Should I just go ahead and go to the archives and start from the very beginning?
I got you tonight. We're going to do this in 30 seconds. 2 indexes.
Okay, let me turn my volume up. Give me there you go. Go ahead.
VOO, VTI. Normally, I would say Apple or Microsoft. Microsoft, and since you're a nurse, have you heard of this company called Stryker?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. I just bought like 30 stretchers for my hospital. Yes.
Okay. Now, with you being in that industry, how much of a dominant force do they have in the industry?
Oh, I mean,
the second competitor is pales in comparison, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So them and Pool have what I call a legal monopoly. So for anyone that's in healthcare, I've always said invest in Stryker, hold for the long term, and you'll be fine. If I can give you a price, where to get in, a good entry would be like $218.78. I would do VOO, VTI. I would do Microsoft and Stryker, and you'll be fine. And for all of you that work in healthcare, if you know how dominant Stryker is, please put healthcare in chat. It's one of the most dominant companies on the face of the earth. I mean, if you look in 1998, the lowest their price was 79 cents. Their all-time high is 281.16. Okay. This is why I say just hold for a 10-year period. 30 years is ideal, but hold for a 10-year period, you'll be good. Invest in those 4. Don't deviate. I know people are going to tell you there's a bunch of ways you can make money. But the most important question you have to ask someone when they talk to you about investing is, are you free from investing? And if you tell me what to do and it doesn't work, will you give me the money for it?
Okay.
Can't hear you. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
A lot of people will tell you, you should invest in this one because my cousin Keontae said, if you lose 83,000, he not gonna put that money up.
Can't hear you.
You're breaking up.
So I stand on my laurels and say, and real quick, and for confirmation, if I've made you money, please put yes in chat. You can look at the comments. Apple, VOO, VTI, Stryker.
Now I'm so proud. I just want to say I'm so proud of you for not just hearing the information, but executing on it. You went from real estate and said that's not enough. We need to diversify the portfolio, and now you're going to stocks. I'm proud of you and thank you for working in healthcare and your husband as well. We appreciate everything that y'all do for our community and for our country. So thank you, and I'm proud of you. If nobody tells you that today, I'm telling you, I'm proud of you.
Absolutely.
Let's keep going.
Yes, thank you for your service. Greatly appreciated.
Oh, she muted.
So good. Yeah,
she's writing down information.
Shout out to all the healthcare workers. It's been a very stressful 18 months for all of them. So shout out to all the healthcare workers and all the first responders. Salute to you guys.
Yeah. Who we got?
Dalia Costa, please unmute yourself.
So Dalia, what's going on?
Hi guys, how you doing?
We're doing great.
How are you?
I'm good. I just got my ticket for the Apollo.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Success, love, speed.
Are you in Stock Club?
Yes, I am in Stock Club.
Okay. Send me your email, and because you were the first one to say that you got a ticket, I'll add you to the Future Sniper course tonight.
Ooh,
Wow.
A sniper now.
All right. I'm not ready to be a sniper.
You're not ready for the combination. You're not ready for the action right now. You got
Yeah, I mean, listen.
10 trades on a year. You good? You can do that.
There's a people here saying that you are.
I'd love to. I did take it when you offered it for free this summer, I think, or like back in and it was
you didn't finish it because it was free, right?
Well, no, because you were like, you're not ready. If you can't do this and this, then you're not ready. And I was like, you're right. I'm not ready. I'm gonna go sit down and learn.
If you can make $168,000 on one trade, would you be ready?
Yes, I want to try it, and
You
I
ready?
want to do it. So thank you, Ian. I will take it. I will take it.
That's what I'm talking about.
So
Ian be having them do basic training, like they
Yo,
got to walk
yeah.
10 miles.
He's like, if you
3
can't do
gallons of
100,
water.
Okay, but if we want to be real, a lot of people selling y'all courses to take y'all money, and then when you look back, you got 88 courses and not 88,000. So
Yeah.
a lot of people will sell you shit that you don't need. That's why I never asked you guys to buy anything from me. I'm going to like, there's a cost to being rich. You like, I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, working the after done stock club call. That's all. Like, when do you sleep? I'm tired. I'm still tired from Detroit. They going to Lagos, Zimbabwe, Russia. I'm like,
Russia.
I'm tired from hearing where y'all going.
I
That's a
know.
fact.
You
We had
guys
to- we
make
had
me
to
But
leave.
this
tired.
is the cost of what it takes to actually be free. And then once you get free, you'll realize you're not actually free. There's no such thing as true freedom. But I'll save that for another day.
Well,
that's why I have
you
you
got to
do
take care of everyone you love too, and make sure that they're all free too. So it's that time multiplied.
Boss.
That's a
Right.
fact. But what's your question?
So I'm like, I'm reading about inflation and how it's going up, and it's like really high right now compared to how it was before, like, all time high, like 13 years. And then there's this backup in the Pacific Ocean with all the, what do you call it, the supply
Cargo.
chain?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering, like, is one causing the other, or like, how are they connected, and what's the relationship with the two? Because I know when there's not enough supply, like the prices go up, and that's what inflation does too, right? That just means everything gets more expensive.
Yes.
So what does this mean for us?
Well, if we're going to tell the truth, during every recession, there is and 2020 is very evident. It's a great reset. This is why I've been telling us that we have to invest. The purpose of a lot of recessions is to change power from one controlling interest to another, and then change money, because money is not created, it's just transferred from one source to another. And then if we increase the price of goods, most people won't focus on investing, and then it creates a lower class or underclass, just to be very honest. So the cargo thing, I won't speak on it a whole lot, but they could fix that if they wanted to. They don't want to yet. There's some political stuff behind that I won't touch on that is causing a lot of that as well, because we have higher demand than ever. So they should be able to get the goods out fast enough, but politically, there's some reasons there. But I would say more than, no matter what anyone tells you, please invest in the market every single month.
Yeah.
Will inflation increase? Yes. The cost of the dollar has dramatically fallen since we've gone off the gold standard. Everyone, quiz time. How much is the dollar fallen, or the value of the dollar fallen since 1972? Everything is getting more expensive. Clothes, almonds because of almond milk, coconut prices have gone up, cocoa. And now, since a lot of commodities are going up, even crude, they want to get the value of crude back to being $120 a barrel. The cost of everything is going to rise, and the only way to offset that is with investing. So they are tied, but they don't have a direct correlation, or don't cause one or another.
Okay, so as long as you're, I know that we all start investing to offset inflation, right? It's like the idea is you don't just
It's one of the many reasons, yes.
I've been telling my sister this like for a year, and she's not listening. So maybe she'll come to the Apollo with me and start listening. But I'm like, you don't just keep it in your bank account. You got to go put it somewhere.
Where you from?
Rhode Island.
Okay, so you coming to the Apollo?
No, but I live in the Bronx. I'm a teacher in the Bronx.
Oh, yeah?
In New York City.
What part of the Bronx?
So I live up in like kind of near Yonkers, but I teach in Manhattan on the Upper West Side. Our students performed at the Apollo like a couple years ago with our marching band. It was
Nice.
Okay, so you like near Riverdale. So what makes you excited about the Apollo? Because it's so crazy. Shout out to Mike B, our stylist. And I told him we was doing the Apollo, and he didn't fully understand what I was saying. He was like, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do the Apollo for Black Friday. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Apollo, you think of the Apollo, you think about a performance. You're not thinking about financial literacy. So it's like he didn't fully understand. Then when he fully understood what I was telling him, he was like, yo, y'all just be legendary, man. Like, so
well, like the great thing about the Apollo is first like the historical context, right? So you have the Harlem Renaissance and you have that stage, and it's original, you know, so it's beautiful inside. The second thing that's exciting about this is that it's a very intimate place. So it is a big theater, but it's very intimate. Like we're going to be close, like you're going to be able to see the back row. It's not going to be like a huge thing like Madison Square Garden. So it's going to be
I think it's a beautiful idea. I'm so glad you guys are doing it. It's
The
awesome.
Harlem Renaissance birth back with businesses. That's why the financial revolution is here.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's another renaissance that's happening right now.
Thank you. Thank you. And while we're on the topic of the Bronx, shout out to my cousin Reef. I'm wearing his merch, Beautiful Nightmares.
Punch, what up?
He had a baby shower the other day. So congratulations to him. And shout out to the dead homies. I've been needing this shirt for a while, man. So
if it took you a while to get one, I know I
dead homies heavy in the streets, man. So shout out to Reef, man. Support that Beautiful Nightmares. And shout out to my man Half with this hat from Peekskill, my guy.
That's dope.
So I'm supporting some Black businesses today.
Let's do it.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Let's get one more.
Shout out to all my public school teachers too. Love is love.
Shout out to all the public school
Mike
teachers.
Dolo, unmute yourself, please.
Mike, the legend. How you doing, man?
Nah, Mike ain't do the fridge break.
No, unmute yourself.
No. Okay, I got it.
Nah, you wouldn't do it.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Good, my guy. How you doing?
My question is, it actually has to do with taking profit. So since Tesla did run up a lot, I was wondering, since I don't have a lot of shares, I want more. So should I exit and then re-enter when it drops down?
What's your average entry price?
I believe it's like, let me check. Hold on. I think it's like 4 something.
I would take off maybe 13%, 20% maximum, and then re-enter. But if your average price is 400,
Mike, that's a great entry, man.
Yeah. Just 4.
Yeah, that's one of those things I battle with too. It's like, when am I going to take profit? Like I'll see my percentages and I'm like, I've hit my number. It's like kind of like when I was saying I'm not going to teach anymore. Like I set the bar, like this is the number, but then I go higher. I'm like, all right, well, and so yeah, I'm with you on that. Sometimes, and I know Shadi, he's just like, you never lose by taking profit.
Yeah. I mean, but Mike, let me ask you this: if you knew it was going to 22.69 in 24 to 30 months, would you want to take profit now or no? And we got to give Kathy our flowers because she said it was going to go to 4,000.
She did. She definitely did.
If it goes to 2,200, would you be upset that you took profit? I need you to calculate that first, but I will only do 20% max of profit taking right now.
Shout out to Dan P. He said his average
now for me, I wouldn't take profit right now because obviously I'm just riding a wave up. But the price that you gave us before, the price that you gave us for Stock Club, when it goes down to that price, should I take profit when we peak out or when we get to 2,200 and then hopefully it goes back down to that price or no?
I would, me personally, and I've been in Tesla since late 2016. As long as Elon is there, I'm keeping money in.
Okay.
As long as, so I would never take out more than 25%. Because like you guys have to realize when you take money off the table, you are essentially engaging in a short against that company.
Right.
So I'm not going to bet against. It's certain entrepreneurs that I'm not betting against. Elon, Jack are 2 of them. Like I'm not going to bet against Tim Cook. There are certain people like if Gates came back and made another company, I'm not betting against certain people. So when you take a certain amount of profit off, because I always say, if you look over the 20-year horizon of most companies, you can see how much they've run. Even like Monster Beverage, not the best company in the world. If you look at the 20-year chart, my God, phenomenal, like a flawless chart.
Monster.
So yeah, so if you believe in the company, I would not take off a bunch of profit because then that's how you end up looking back and be like, I should have kept it. And that's why I always ask everyone in New York, like, if you could have bought a brownstone in 2001 and held it for 20, how much money? It's the same thing. So as things start to go up and things get pricier, there are people that are making money off of that. I want us to be the ones. It's my job to keep you in the market if a company is good. If Tesla falls apart, I'll be the first one to tell you. But no, I wouldn't take any profit here.
So should I just add more? And this is not just for Tesla, just for Microsoft and Apple. So I should just add more to it instead of taking off and riding it higher.
Have the conversation in your home. I will put every dollar that I could, spare dollar, into those 3. And when people say that they can't, I'm like, you're doing it on bills and expenses are just the monetization of your dollars into another family. You're doing it. It's like, but we have to love ourselves enough, or if you guys don't love yourself enough financially, you have to anchor to somebody that you care about. So like when I got tired of not winning and tired of hitting rock bottom enough, Xander was my driving force. So I wanted to give the world and Titan to him. So I'm like, let me put every dollar I have in, go all in on this. It'd be a huge mistake to not put. And I asked this in chat. If you wish you would have put more money into Google, Apple, Amazon, Tesla over the last 10 years, please put I wish in chat. One of the biggest mistakes that we make is not putting our money into these companies that will print profit for us like crazy.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you, Mike.
All right, bro. Mike, always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah. Dan, I did shout you out, man. I saw that entry, 308. That's 306.
Dan, you killer.
Yeah, you our guy, man. You kind of transcribe everything we saying, like live. So shout out to you, Dan. Of course I'm giving you a shout out. I ain't whispering.
Shout out to everybody out there that's making money. All right.
Shotty ready to go.
Market Mondays, man.
Shout out to the Dream Team. Y'all good?
Dream Team is here, y'all. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Danny D, my wife. She fed the Dream Team. Yeah. We greatly appreciate you, honey. And shout out to my son. He's been dying to get on Market Mondays, but it's bedtime. So he got school in the morning. I'm gonna let him one time. I got you. Chris, I got you.
Yes, we will be taking this show on the road. We will be in. Well, I gotta talk about Nigeria real quick before we finish this situation. We're going to Africa. We're going to Nigeria. It was our first stop. I can't announce anything other than we're having a networking event next Tuesday.
It's going to be big. I'll say it.
It's going to be a legendary situation. It's free. If you're in Nigeria, just go to our website, click the Nigeria link, and meet up with us in Lagos, Nigeria, next Tuesday at 7:00. It's going to be something for the ages, man. That's going to be a vibe.
Yeah.
Following Nigeria, we will be headed to Egypt, but we also will be having a networking event, live podcast at the top floor of the Ritz-Carlton in Cairo.
Sounds fitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gets better and better, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fun. Oh, baby.
Then we come back to New York. Of course, we got Market Mondays, the first ever Market Mondays ever that we are recording live show at the Apollo Theater on Black Friday. The next day, we will have a VIP experience workshop. So all of the information is online, marketmondays.com. Buy your tickets now. They will sell out, ladies and gentlemen.
As soon as I send this link to Stock Club and Snipers, out of here. And every city we go to, new material, new information. So you're not going to get the same rehash stuff. I'm giving y'all. Put in chat, what do you want me to teach you at Market Mondays Live? For those of you who were at Invest Fest, you know I took the gloves off. So tell me what you want me to teach you. I'll go to the comments tonight and I'll create something special for y'all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If you was at Invest Fest, put one in chat. Let's do this. Let me try to do impression. Put one in chat if you was at Invest Fest.
You might as well do it. Everybody else be doing it. Like, no, I made it after Ian, so it's mine.
Somebody put an 11.
Because Invest Fest was a legendary situation. So you already know the kind of momentum that has been building from these live events. So if you saw Ian's presentation at InvestFest, if you enjoyed our interview with Ryan Leslie, if you enjoyed our interview with Jim Jones and Styles and 19 Keys and all that, it's right in that vein. So you don't have to play yourself. You can play yourself if you choose to, but you don't have to. You don't have to play yourself. And of course, New York is the biggest market for us. So this is the first time that we have ever done like an event. We've done networking events in New York, but we've never done like an event like this in New York. So this is the first time ever. So yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Hey, this episode of Market Mondays is brought to you by Ally Financial. Ally is an option if you're looking to bank or invest. Make sure to tune in to Ally's live stream on YouTube November 3rd to hear from industry experts and leading strategists that will be dropping gems for you, y'all. Don't miss this November 3rd. And don't miss out on creating your own financial legacy. So reserve your spot at ally.com/digital conference. That's ALLY.com/digital conference. ALLY.com/digital conference. Shout out to the good folks.
Yeah, I love
Ally. Erica, she ran up on us. Shout out to Erica. She ran up on us in Atlanta.
Shout out to Erica. And shout out to Ally. We got something.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, it's called Stay Tuned. It's called Stay Tuned.
Yeah. And we'll be back in Atlanta too. Shout out to our Revolt team. We'll be
shout
back
out to our Revolt family, the Tavio, Dunny, Diddy,
Yeah. Dina, Michelle.
Shout out to the whole Revolt
Sharice.
family. We definitely will be at the Revolt
Alitra, what up?
Summit. EYL will be there. Ian Dunlap will be there. A few of our other friends might be there as well. So check out the Revolt Summit. Make sure you buy tickets. That's going to be a dope experience.
Yeah.
Shout out to Revolt.
I'm gonna drop some bombs there too.
It's gonna be crazy.
Every city gonna be custom stuff. Crypto talk.
It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be.
And shout out to our show, Assets Over Liabilities on Revolt, coming soon. That's gonna be super dope. You've seen us with Soldier Boy, you've seen us with Rick Ross, you've seen us on Slauson with our guys, AJ, all of the business owners. Like, we got a really dope show called Assets Over Liabilities that's dropping. It's gonna be like the new version of MTV Cribs if it was like productive. Yeah. So it's like we're gonna be walking around with them, like, going through their house, but talking about business, talking about their business ventures. The same concept of EYL, but in a lot of B-roll.
Yeah,
a lot of B-roll and spiced up production with biggest names in the game.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from Soldier?
Soldier Boy is a genius, first and foremost. Let's just
start there.
Let's just start there.
Yeah.
An absolute genius, and he's also a gentleman, and he has a lot of personality. One of the biggest lessons that I learned from him was his willingness to constantly reinvent himself. We spent like 3 hours with him, and he's telling us about he got this thing where it looks like the old Game Boy console. Mm-hmm. But it's actually like a touch screen phone, but it's a video game console. But you can have apps on it. So he had like Coinbase app, the Robinhood app, like Instagram. So he's showing us this play. And he's telling us like, his exit strategy for 9 figures for it. He already built it in. Like, he's having this whole conversation with us. And I'm like, yo, this dude is a genius, man. Like,
Soldier Gaming.
I'm not
Soldier Gaming.
No, I'm dead serious. Soldier Boy is a genius.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
He absolutely is a genius. What I saw from him is how much of a talent he really is. Like, the fact that he's on cue with everything. Like, there was like obviously a lot of cuts and takes, but his memory he's just so sharp, man. And a lot of times people don't take him as serious as they should, obviously, because they think, oh, it's this little kid he grew up. But he's a 31-year-old man right now. And his business mind at 16 was superior to a lot of most business people that we know now.
Absolutely.
So we gotta give him his credit.
But how about we go in the crib? So he has his dope house in LA. So he has a piano in the house. So I'm thinking he got a piano. Everybody got a piano. So I'm like, I joke, I'm like, you play the piano? He's like, yeah. So he start playing the piano. So I'm like, when you classically musically trained? He's like, nah. He's like, when I signed my record deal, I asked the people at the label if they can like show me how to play an instrument. They showed me how to play, and I taught myself. He knows how to play. He taught himself how to play a piano. So then he talked about all his investments, heavy in crypto. So he knew about Bitcoin and was $200. So he had a whole conversation about crypto, whole conversation about stocks, whole conversation about real estate. So then we go upstairs to his studio, and he's playing us a beat that because he makes beats. Yeah. Then he starts freestyling on the beat.
Get a whole episode.
No, I'm just saying that wasn't on. No, that wasn't even on the episode.
It bite though.
No, there was no cameras when he was.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So I'm looking at this dude like, yo, this dude is crazy, man. Like he's really like,
super talent.
I'm gonna be real. If Soldier Boy was from LA or New York, he would be respected more. A lot of Southern artists don't get like. Jay Prince doesn't get the respect that he deserves as a label maker. And it's a lot of artists in the South who have that same kind of talent and acumen, but because of the Southern draw, they may look down upon it, but you can't judge a book by its cover. Some of the most creative people don't look or don't fit the mold of what they should be. Man,
he's one of them.
Did we ever tell you our Jay Prince story?
Yeah, did you hear this?
Shout out to Jay
Prince. But real quick, we so a part of the Soldier story was that, number one, it's a full circle moment because when we started EYL, when we were in Shotty's office and I was writing names in cursive, he's the first person we spoke about ever.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
First ever. Yeah. Like, if you look at the clip, we don't even have EYL merch yet. Like, we were in like our regular clothes doing the episode, and he was the first topic. So when it was time to actually sit down with him, I was like recalling him. I'm like, damn, I remember writing notes about him. Oh, that was the first episode ever. So to be able to show it to him, I saw it in him. He was like, yo, man, they really been rocking with me, man. But that's a full circle
People
moment.
Thought he was joking because I'm like, he's the first person on EYL, so they thought it was a joke. But he actually was the first person to be mentioned on EYL. So shout out to Soldier Boy, man.
And he shouldn't have to proclaim his greatness, but I even took that from him. Like, you have to tell people what your value is.
He gonna remind you.
He has no problem.
He gonna remind you.
He
has no problem
people,
doing that.
People will try to rewrite your history.
I the first had to do it.
Different.
Shout out to
what's your Jay Prince story?
Well, oh man.
Shout out Junior.
Well, you mentioned Jay Prince. Jay Prince is strong, very, very strong, and
he's a man of respect.
He's very strong in Houston. So I'm gonna give the quick abbreviated version, but shout out to my brother Chris Gotti, first and foremost. So we've been wanting to get Jay Prince on the podcast for a while. This was 2 years ago. We wanted to get Jay Prince on the podcast. So Chris and Jay Prince is like brothers. Yeah. So we was going to Houston for a networking event, and I told
this is a positive story, right? Because I live in Houston.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Well, we still here to tell it.
We're here. That makes it positive.
Hey. We still here to tell it. So we do this networking event in Houston, and I've been trying to get Jay Prince for weeks. And Chris was telling me that he was out of town. He was in LA, so it couldn't happen. I'm like, all right, cool. Or Atlanta. He was out of town. It couldn't happen. All right, cool. So we do the networking event, and it just so happens that his son, I think Danny, so he has a lot of kids. I realized he has like 9 sons. So one of his sons comes to the networking event because he knows a young lady that we knew. So he comes, and she introduced me to him. Like, this is Jay Prince's son. So I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? We trying to link up with your dad. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call him. He come back into town tomorrow. So I'm like, all right, cool. So first, I'll preface this story by saying, if you haven't watched episode 23, in order to get a full appreciation for the story, you have to watch episode 23 with Chris Gotti. Watch that episode, watch the story that he tells, and you'll have a better appreciation for the story. So, long story short, the next day we run into his other son at another place, and I'm trying to get his dad. So he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we try to work it out. So then the next day we're in James Harden's party. Meek Mill is there. That's another story. Shout out to Meek.
Kindly tuck your chain.
Shout out to Meek.
Kindly tuck your chain.
Shout out to Meek. That's a whole nother story.
Kindly.
So we see Jay Prince, and I had always heard stories about Jay Prince, and I heard about how strong he was. Like, Chris Gotti been around everybody. He been around, like, Supreme Team. He been around Suge Knight, and he told me that nobody was stronger than Jay Prince. He was like, nobody's stronger than Jay Prince, and this is somebody that been around a lot of strong people. So his name kind of precedes itself, and he's heavily respected, and he's heavily feared. So when I see him, he's like 5'2".
With the headphones.
With the headphones. So I'm like, all right. So he gets outside, and he's outside the club. So we all outside the club. And it's a very awkward moment because I got introduced to his other son. Got introduced to his whole family. So I got introduced to his other son. And I'm like, yo, I want to talk to your dad. What's up? Like, let's make this happen. And he's like, his father's on the other side of the car. So he's like, Dad, he want to talk to you. So his father looks up. Mind you, it's like 2:00 in the morning in Houston. This is my first time ever being in Houston. So it's already an awkward moment because we're having a conversation across a car. Usually a person would be like, yo, come here to talk. But he didn't do that. And I didn't want to step in his. So we're having a conversation across a Rolls Royce. And I'm like trying to like talk to him. So I'm like, yo, we want to try to link up with you. I don't know if the people that was around him heard what I said, but I think that they thought I said something different. And I realized that he wasn't just with a few people. He was with actually 100 people. And it was like military. Everybody stopped what they was doing and they had eyes on me. Yeah. So it was a very uncomfortable situation because I just had like 100 people looking at me, like, and he's like twirling a glass of wine. At any given moment, if he would have like snapped his fingers, it would have been a very dangerous situation. So now it's extremely awkward. So now I gotta throw Chris Gotti's name. I'm like, my brother Chris Gotti. So he's like, oh, Chris, oh yeah, that's my brother. So then it kind of eases up a little bit.
Your heart was beating fast.
Well,
no, he's the person that'll make your heart beat fast.
The thing about it was,
bro.
I didn't know who was behind me.
We was behind you.
I didn't know. I'm just looking forward, and I came with a bunch of people, but I didn't see anybody.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. You are not going to do that. Listen, you're not doing that. Yo, Bam, call up right now.
Rap a lot has made a lot of people scatter.
I'm not saying that they
like,
was. I just didn't see them.
Troy was running.
No, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I saw we was right there. Bam was right behind Shotty. I was right behind Bam. We looked. It wasn't a comfortable situation, but he likes that it wasn't comfortable. We can see it. He's twirling his glass. He still got his headphones in. I'm like, Shotty turns around. You know what his next words to me is? You know what he said? I don't like the way this is looking. And then we turn, we see a dude get knocked out.
Yeah.
Because he gave the valet gave the wrong keys to the dude. He get knocked out.
I don't think we should tell that part.
We're not gonna tell. We're not gonna say whose car it was. But we ended up. We made it safe, and I was like, "Yo, let's just get the Uber like 3 blocks up." You know what I'm saying? I don't really like how
my
this
whole
is going.
I'm like, I'm not about to die over financial literacy podcast. It's not that serious. Like, that's why I'm like financial literacy. So now I gotta start screaming like it's business podcast, financial literacy. Chris God, I'm just throwing lightning words out there that just hopefully something connects with them because it could have easily turned in a different direction that I didn't need to go in. So long story short, he was a gentleman about it. We did speak. He did agree to doing the podcast. We just didn't have enough time to do it. But most importantly, we made it out of Houston safe.
Yeah.
And that's my Jay Prince story.
Yeah.
So
and we could have the interview as we were going to the airport. He texted us the address to the spot where he wanted to do the interview. It was like 4 a.m.
At 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Like, yeah, perfect time to do the interview.
Yeah. So shout out to Jay Prince. We got a link.
Yeah, shout out to the whole Prince family. Shout out to all the mob ties out there. We will be back in Houston. Hopefully,
Junior, hold your head.
Yeah. We'll be back out there.
Yes.
That's a great story, by the way.
Yeah, we got a lot of stories. Troy almost got killed in LA. We'll tell that story. So you love that LA story.
Why are you doing this? Yo, love is love.
Hey, now we got to hear that story.
It's not.
We gotta save that.
Yeah, we're gonna say that for another night. That's gonna be EYL after dark.
We gotta say it. We got a lot. We travel a lot. We travel a lot, so we got a lot of stories on the road. So
yeah.
Shout out to the squad.
Bam said make Shotty tell the real story.
That is the real story. I'm not saying that they.
Yo, Bam, I wasn't gonna let him say we wasn't there, bro.
I just said I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
Yo, that's crazy. Now, I saw the look in Shotty's eye. I said, "Yeah, let's go now."
But to my credit, I was willing to go to lengths for this show that a lot of people went because the girl told me like it's not a good time. I said it's the only time.
That is a true statement. That actually happened. That happened. Yeah. You said that's the only time and when.
You gotta listen. Like, yeah.
Because I'm like, introduce me. She's like, it's not a good time. No, it's the only time. We're in Houston. Jay Prince is right there.
You can't force.
There's no other time. This is the time.
Force ideal opportunities that will come.
Yo, in between their conversation was a phantom, a white phantom.
No, it was legendary.
Twirling like.
Shout out to Jay Prince.
And we made it out of Houston.
We did make it out of Houston.
You know what the crazy part? We actually could have had the interview, right? We got offered to go horseback riding. We're like, I ain't going horseback riding. Come to find out, the horseback riding was at his ranch.
That whole story, that whole weekend was crazy. We could have been at his ranch. I'm like, if you would have just told us this was the ranch.
But I mean, once you get the invite, like certain people, like if they extend the invite, you got to just make the move for. Like Diddy, Jay.
Oh, shout out to Diddy. Shout out to Jay.
Certain people like they move a certain way, but you can argue like him doing business the way that he does it is what's kept him. Like people don't give Jay Prince enough credit for catapulting Drake, and people forget how pivotal he was to Mayweather's career.
Yeah,
people take that out of Mayweather's history. Like
Andre Ward too.
Yeah, like he didn't help them.
Yeah.
Which is and if we go to the story of him, Irv, and what Suge was trying to do.
Right.
And stop that.
Right.
There's a reason I feel like his temperament is like that because so much has been taken from them. And I can argue like he doesn't get like with Drake and Wayne and everything that was built, people don't mention his name enough.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Houston too. Shout out to Don Key. That's my guy. And shout out to Toby.
Oh yeah.
And Wigway.
Yeah.
That's our guy. Shout out. Remember we ran into Paul Wall.
He was sitting on the airplane with us.
With Don Key.
Yeah.
We was on the plane. That Houston story was so crazy. We come back on the airplane with Paul Wall and Don. Like, what's that whole thing?
The night before, we was with Slim Thug. Like,
we ran the Slim Thug. Yeah, that was crazy.
Only person was missing was Face Mob.
And then we had the Meek Mill story when the dude tucked his chain in. Shout out to Meek Mill, man.
Why you say that, bro?
Dream chasers. The real dream chasers.
Please
we got a crazy Meek Mill story. Shout out to Meek.
Please
man.
kindly tuck your chin. Hey, yo, MG, you see what he just did?
Man,
You see what he just
what
did,
are they
MG?
doing?
MG, you see what he just did? I wouldn't go there. Look what he did.
Shout out to Meek, man.
Meek,
All right, y'all.
love you.
Look.
Nah, Meek didn't tuck his chain in.
No.
That
Yeah, but you know how they gonna do it.
Yeah, no,
Oh, no,
no disrespect to me.
Nah,
It wasn't a Meek
that
thing.
wasn't Meek.
It was
That
somebody that we
that
had
was
seen
somebody.
that had a chain on that.
Probably
Probably
not doing that.
Probably should.
Love is love, light, all that. Call somebody that you love. Reach out to them.
Hey, yo, shout out to Ghost and Ray, number one.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the patent leather ones. I know y'all see them up there early. They're a little early.
Does Ghost not get enough credit for that soul sound? That
Yeah,
Ghost
he's
Ghost
one
just
of the
did a
great-
whole
Ghost probably one
he
of-
did a whole segment on the best stories ever told in rap.
yeah.
And he didn't have All That I Got Is You in it. It wasn't even nominated.
Wow.
It's crazy. I'm like, yo, bro, that's one of them stories.
Ghost don't get enough
Rewind
credit.
was what he nominated Rewind as the best story ever told in rap.
Yes, yeah.
He
Good
may be
choice.
one of the most underrated
Rewind.
MCs of all time.
Yeah. And shout out to the Wu-Tang, that series. I love it. It's
Yeah.
it's great. If you're not watching it, make sure you go watch it. Shout out to East. Shout out to everybody that's part of that. Dope show on Hulu. Make sure y'all check it out.
All right, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you next week. Buy your tickets, marketmondays.com. We want to see you at the Apollo. We want to see you at VIP Day on Saturday, man. So New York City, come out. The whole tri-state area, the whole tri-state. Y'all been asking for this. Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. It should sell out, which is New York is enough.
Club and Sniper gonna sell out tonight.
And EYL University, of course. We love y'all. We see you on Wednesday
Yeah.
for the crypto class that we're doing. And then check out the episode tomorrow with our girl Jessica Lane about Forex.
We almost forgot. We're dropping something tomorrow morning.
No. Don't.
No.
Don't
I'm talking about what we did with Complex.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
It's called Stay Tuned.
Oh man.
Don't say nothing.
Well, all right. Fine.
We got so much ammunition in the
And I'll
clip,
see y'all
man.
tomorrow. Love y'all. Oh, Stock Club caller 9. Let's go. It's gonna be short. We're gonna vibe with Dream Team. We're gonna be out. Love y'all, Janet. Love you.